So welcome back. So now the exchange 2 is where you select your exchange 2. Remember, if you are selecting only from this section that says cross exchange, if you are selecting only exchange 1, you can only set exchange 1 and leave the other exchanges. But if you are going to arbitrage cross exchange, then you have to set all the 3 exchanges here. So in exchange 2 is where you set exchange name is similar to exchange 1. The same thing is applicable in exchange 3, exchange 2, and similar to the settings of exchange 1. And what I want to point out is this swap fee. Pancake actually charged 0.25 swap fee, not 0.3. I was actually using that for testing. So if it is 0.3 that is in your code, in your settings file, then edit it to 0.25%. So the swap fee is very important because this is what is actually using to calculate how much the quotes in different exchanges. So you always have to check with the exchange that you are trading. Ask the exchange of how much is their swap fee and input the exact swap fee here, because if you are not inputting the exact swap fee, as the description explained, that this is very sensitive area. If you input wrong fee, then your whole work is in vain, and that is the valid point. So we now move on to pair fetcher settings. Currently now with the current state your bot does not have any pairs fetch. So I'm going to show you how to fetch pairs. So this pair fetcher settings is where you set the settings for how you want your bot to fetch pairs. So we have minimum liquidity in USD. So it means you will set the minimum liquidity in which you want to be the tolerance before your bot will fetch that pair. It means if the minimum liquidity is not, sorry, excuse me. Okay, so what this means is that it is only going to fetch the pairs that has at least the minimum of 5,000 liquidity in it. You can decide to fetch greater that has maybe 10,000 liquidities based on you, that is based on you. So the default is 5,000. So you also have to set the liquidity amounts in BNB, which is in coin, in a chain coin. So chain coin in BSC network is BNB, and Matic is for Polygon network. So since we are trading in BSC, we are going to set the minimum liquidity in BNB here. So at the time I was setting this, $5,000 worth of BNB was $5,000 was worth 18.39 BNB as of that time. So the reason why you have to set the liquidity amount in the liquidity amount in USD and in chain coin like BNB is because some pairs do not have wrap BNB. Some pairs do not have BUSD pairs on it. So pairs that does not have some tokens that does not have stable coins pairs, that is XYZ token might not have a pair with stable coin. It's going to be impossible to get the US price. So in that case, the tokens will have a pair with wrap BNB. It must always have a pair with wrap BNB. So we will calculate the price in BNB. What I mean by wrap BNB, that's BNB token. So that's why you have to specify here. So in case the token doesn't have a pair with a stable coin to calculate the US liquidity, the USD liquidity, it will use wrap BNB liquidity to calculate it. So this mark price in USD and max price in stable coin is actually for debugging. You said debugger. So this is if at any point, we all know that there's no token price that get to 100k. So there's no token price that worth $100,000, even if it might be like what do they call what did they call finance. There was one token that was called finance that the price pumped up to, I don't know if the price got to 100k, but you can always specify here if the price of the token is greater than this amount. Oh, so in case the price is greater than this, you can also set higher. Then your bot will consider the price as fake price. So this is the value in the price value in BNB. That is the chain coin. So you always specify the same amount you specify here. It's, as I explained before, it's almost the same thing. It's almost the same thing, but just that in case the coin is the token we are trading does not have a pair, does not have it does not have a pair with stable coin that will calculate the pair in BNB, the price in BNB. So the amounts you put here will always be the equivalent amount you put here in the chain coin. So that is it. So in this case, I will change it to 200,000 because I know there's no token that the price has gotten to 200k. Even BTC is not up to 200k. So if any point in time but find a token that price is up to that amount, that means the price is just the calculation of the price is just wrong. So if you skip the token, there are some factors that might make the calculation of the price wrong on the blockchain. So that is a discussion for developers. So that is it. And we move on to blockchain network settings. So this blockchain network settings, from this network name is where you select your network type, like for example BAC, Polygon or Ethereum. But at this moment BAC is the only available one, with the reasons we're supposed to have Ethereum, but Ethereum there's something wrong with it. So we might have Polygons as updates, and there's a new blockchain that just came up. I think not that new, known as Harmony. So so it's not competitive like Ethereum at the moment, and the gas fee in Ethereum is very high, and it is very competitive. So Polygon and other network will be available, and Ethereum will also be available as an update in time to come, not that long, very soon. So it's only BAC that is available at this moment. So your main network RPC type is what you're going to set here. If you are using a WebSocket connection, you set WebSocket or HTTP, and you set the link, the URL of that, the URL of your RPC, the node that you are connecting to. So this main network RPC type is for the main bots, and this price oracle network RPC type is for streaming price. I will get to that point at in the future video. I will get to these points. So of fetching price. So you can, if you want to use the same RPC, you can set the same RPC. If you want to use another RPC in fetching the price, you can set another RPC. There's nothing wrong by setting the same RPC, but just as if you are using third-party RPCs, they might limit the maximum request you are going to make. So in that case, you can specify, this is optional, you can specify to use different RPC or the same RPC URL. If you run your own node, then you can set the RPC URL of your local nodes here as well. So that is it for this. And you also have HTTP as well as WebSockets RPC. So this is where you set your private key, your private settings, of course. So here you put your bot license key, which is your bot ID. So you put it here. For your bot to work, you need to put the ID here for the bot to work normally. So you get the ID, we'll send you the ID, then you put it here. That's all. And this Telegram ID, I am going to show you how to get the Telegram ID in the coming video after this specific video. So this way you set your wallet address and as well as your private key. So